Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here to do your sneak peek for the week. Welcome here. Thank you so much for stopping in here to see what's going on for the next 7 days. I've got 12 decks to my left here if you've never been here before. The 12 decks are for the 12 signs. I'm going to read from each of those decks for each of the signs. We're going to find out what's going on in the next 7 days. This is called the sneak peek for the week, but it is for the next 7 days whenever you find it, my friends. So whether that's today, tomorrow, or next year, it's going to be for the next 7 days. So I'm going to mark all of those timings in the description down below this video, and you can just scroll to find out what it is that you need for your for the energies that you're looking for. But I'm going to ask you just to please stop watching tarot just for your sun sign. You don't really know what's going on if you're only watching for your personality. You already know what your personality is. So if you're only watching for your personality, you don't have the whole story. Natal charts are free. There's no reason why you shouldn't know your moon and your rising. Everything else makes more sense when you watch for all three. Ask the people who are doing it, they'll tell you. And yeah, the only other thing I need to tell you is private reads are open if you're interested in that. I do private readings that are pre-recorded. I also do private readings that are live. And so if you want a pre-recorded reading, please go to the pinned comment and check out the Hipsy link, and that'll take you to all my pricing. You'll see what's going on there. And I'm currently offering a 48-hour turnaround time on some of those readings. I think just one of them right now. I won't be keeping that one on for much longer because it really does exhaust me. I get a lot of requests this way, so I'm going to be sort of putting it out there and bringing it back and putting it out there. So it's only going to be there probably till the end of the month, and that's it. And I'm going to take a break from those for a bit. So if you want to get in on that, you should probably do it. And if you are interested in a live reading, there are sales on that, anywhere between 5 and 75% off of the readings that are live. So we can talk on the phone or in text or in video, whatever you like. And yeah, that's it. So let's find out what's going on. Let's get to it. Let's find out what is going on for the next 7 days for Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Aries, there's so much going on in your sign right now. I didn't realize until I actually took a look at it how many planets are, the strong planets, like the ones that are strong with change, are in your sign right now. And most of them are, I think all of them actually, are in retrograde. So it's pretty crazy. So go check with your nearest astrologer so they can give you the lowdown on how it's all affecting you. Because if you're feeling a little bit crazy or out of control right now, feeling like you're doing a tailspin, that might be why. Let's find out what's going on for Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. There we go. We start off with the Lovers in reverse. Tell me why the Lovers is in the reverse in the next 7 days. We've got the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and we've got the Seven of Cups. Well, there it is. It feels like somebody here is really confused about a choice that needs to be made. It feels like in the next 7 days, you're going to be called to make a choice, and you're not really sure what the answer is going to be. You are going to be in your Queen of Swords energy this next 7 days here, Aries. The Queen of Swords, feminine or masculine, is someone who's apt to tell the truth and is not meaning to ruffle feathers. But, the Queen of Swords doesn't, is the one that is going to be telling the truth, and the truth doesn't care if you like it. So I feel like you're about to give the truth to someone, and I'm just going to give you a heads up. I feel like this person is going to feel as though you're betraying them, betraying their trust, betraying the friendship, betraying the soulmate connection. And the Lovers being in the reverse. And listen, the Lovers being in the reverse is telling me that you sort of are at a place right now, if this is a friendship or a relationship, it feels like you're in this place right now where you don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. Are we a thing? Are we not a thing? Are we friends? Are we not friends? And I think that's why the Queen of Swords is here. Because I feel like when the Queen of Swords is finally standing up and liberating themselves and opening his or her mouth, it's time for the truth to come out. So I feel like you don't really know what's going on, and you need to make a choice, and you can't make a choice until you know the truth, but the truth might just set you free. You know what I mean? Like the truth could very well set you free. It feels like you're in a confusing situation right now, and that's why I'm talking about this. It feels like everything here is confusing or overwhelming. It feels like that when you say something, it's going to bust something else wide open. So there is a decision process that's been really hard for you to make. And it's because of the Lovers in reverse. Because you have a choice. But you know that if you should you choose to stand up and liberate yourself and speak your truth, that this could be over. And so I think that's why it's sort of confusing. And you're not really sure if you want to hurt somebody by telling them the truth. Because, look, we're not in a world where people like the truth. Everybody's pretending. Everybody's using filters and lip syncing, and people don't like the truth. They'd rather engage in things that look a certain way, have a certain aesthetic, right? We've got the Queen of Pentacles, we've got the Two of Cups, and we've got the Knight of Cups. So there's the conundrum. I feel like this probably is something to do with someone you have an emotional bond with. And not for all of you. Like, it feels like for some of you, this is going to be about an emotional bond you have with a friend or someone you trust or someone you've known for a really long time, because the Queen of Pentacles is here. This could also be someone that you're older than, or maybe they're older than you. It feels like with the Two of Cups, though, that there is an emotional bond that we hold here. So we've bonded to each other emotionally, whether we're friends or whether we're family, or maybe we're in a romantic connection. If it is a romantic connection, it does feel like you really need to speak with this person. The Three of Cups are here, and it feels like you're hoping for that this person is going to understand that you're delivering a message to them in the utmost caring, kind way. I feel like you have been holding back, because the Knight of Cups is the passive knight, right? The one that's going to do it with emotion, the one that's up to essentially their hips in emotion. And so the thing is I feel like you feel the Ace of Cups is out of your grasp at this time. Like, the Ace of Cups here is on the water, and I think that the Knight is going to get it. And I think that there is a strong sort of solid emotional bond here, but it feels like the Lovers in reverse is telling me, is this really going to last the test of time, or I have a choice to make here? There is something that I need to speak to this person about. Tell me about this. We've got the Four of Pentacles. So you have been quiet. You've not been saying anything. You've been holding back because you know that once the Queen of Swords opens their mouth, it's quite likely that somebody is going to feel incredibly hurt, or something might come to a super painful end. We have the Six of Swords. So you're staying quiet here. So because I feel like you're sort of in a chaotic energy is what it feels like. Right now you're in a chaotic mindset, and it feels like that's the reason why you haven't said anything yet. Because you don't want to cause an issue, you don't want to cause pain or anguish. You don't want someone to end the cycle with you or release the situation that you're in with them. You don't want to lose them as a friend. You don't want to lose this relationship. It feels like there is something, though, that you're holding back that is really emotional for you. And you do want to say something, but you're afraid that when you take the locks off the door here, that's going to be it. The doors are going to fly open, and then I'm disconnecting. It feels like I'm just going to go. I'm going to leave. I feel like right now you're trying to hold your position because you don't know where this connection is going. We have the Devil here with the Six of Swords. It almost feels like a mental jail is what it feels like. It feels like you feel like you're in some sort of a mental jail. The fact that you're holding back is what's causing the confusion. That's what's causing the overwhelm of emotion. The fact that you're not saying what you have to say honestly, that's what's causing all the hardship here. That's what's causing the toxicity. Look, if you hold it back and if you hold things in and hold things back and you don't say them, it can make you sick, like physically ill. And so I feel like with the Devil energy here, that there is something here that you're thinking about on a loop, obsessively. And it feels like you do want to open up, I think, because the Six of Swords is here with disconnection from the Four of Pentacles. And I think that you want to open up. But when you open up and you say something, does it burn everything to the ground? So the Ten of Swords tells me that with this Queen of Swords energy here, we could be talking about two people who maybe one's an earth sign, maybe one's an air sign. But these two people here are both in their queened or kinged energy, feminine or masculine, are on the throne. And so it's like we're even here. And it's almost like, how can I say? It's like Charlie is showing me two people outside a saloon. Like, you know, when there used to be old cowboys in the dusty old cowboy days. You know what I mean? They're standing outside a saloon and they're both standing there, hand on their hip, on their weapons. And one is waiting for the other one and the other one's waiting for the other. And who's going to draw first? Like, it feels like a showdown of two people here who could be feminine or masculine. But it's like somebody's going to pull the trigger, and the trigger is, I got to make a choice to speak up and say something. But I think that if I'm really honest and truthful about what's going on here, I feel like the death card being here is going to burn to the ground. So we've got the Ace of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. And so somebody here can't make a decision. The Two of Pentacles is back and forth. I'm not really sure. I'm just trying to keep things sturdy and stable at this moment, but I'm juggling a lot of things. I feel like you're juggling a lot of emotions. I feel like the juggle is between, do I stay or do I go? Because the Eight of Cups is here. The staying is the Ace of Cups. The Eight of Cups is the go. Do you stay or do you go? In the relationship, the friendship, the family dynamic. Okay, it's around the corner. We've got the Three of Swords. We've got the King of Wands. There you are. And we've got the Queen of Cups. I feel like we have somebody here who is going to be taking action this week. I feel like you're going to open up emotionally and tell somebody exactly how you feel. It does feel like we're dealing in swords and cups, and so it feels like this is going to be a hard emotional conversation that is likely to end something, because you can no longer sit on the throne and just watch it happen, because the Queen of Swords would never do that. It does feel like you are in some sort of a solid friendship, solid relationship, or the only reason that this is working out at this time is because I'm not speaking my mind. Well, I think that it's time. Things are not as they seem. There we go. That's what I think you're living in right now. Things are not as they seem. So I feel like it's time for you to say something, even if the Six of Wands is here. It's finally coming out of a dark place, right? It's coming back from the fight, coming back from the war, and deciding what I'm going to do. It's time for me to be noticed, to say something, to get some attention. But look, this person here is pouring out their cup. So I think that you think that if you do say something, that it's likely it's going to bring something to an end. And I don't think you're ready to deal with that reality just yet, Aries. We've got Queen of Cups, who is Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We've got more Scorpio, Capricorn. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Cancer energy, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius is here a lot. And we have Cancer, Pisces on the bottom of the deck. It's going to be a hard week for you. It's like you're trying to make a decision to do something, but you know it could very well bring something to a halt, and I don't think you're ready for that. Here we go, Taurus. Let's find out what's going on for you, my bull gang. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus. Tell me about the next 7 days for Taurus. We've got the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. We've got the Six of Cups. But why are they ignoring me? That's what I just heard Charlie say. But why are they ignoring me? Charlie's my guide, by the way, if you've never been here before. We've got the Seven of Wands. And we have the Ten of Cups. You know what? It feels like there is someone here. Someone here is very defensive about their feelings. It feels as though there's a block between you and the Ten of Cups, and it's pissing you off. It feels like I'm looking at this person here, and she looks like a bit of a warrior, right? She's got the two wands in her hand and the 5 down here. So it feels like someone in your life is not giving you any time, energy, money, attention, whatever it is. Somebody's holding back. Like something could be materializing right now. Like it could be working out right now, but the other person is holding back. Or maybe you are, but take it as it resonates for you. It does feel like there is a block between you and your heart's desire or your absolute apex of happiness. It feels like there is somebody here who you either know really well or you feel like you've known them before. It could be a new connection, but it does, because the page is here, but it feels like this new connection person, whoever they are, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's romantic, or maybe it's a family member. Maybe if it's a family member, it's not new. I'm just saying that because the Six of Cups is here, right? So for some of you, this could be someone who's new in your life that you feel very connected to, and it feels like they're blocking your happiness, or you feel like this is a block to your happiness because they're not really giving you any time or attention at this time. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. We've got the Hermit, we've got the Fool, and we've got the Nine of Pentacles. The thing is I feel like you think that this is something that could last the test of time. If somebody would just get their shit together and if they would just put in their part of the effort or energy, it does feel like you're confident that this new chapter will work out the way that you think it will. The Hermit is here, and I feel like you've done a lot of work healing yourself, Taurus. And so I'm looking at this reading as sort of from that opportunity. It feels like you've been through a dark night of the soul, or you've been through a lot of hardship, and you've really done your best to point the finger back at you in every situation. And so you're not blaming. You're not in the blame game. You're not blaming other people. You know who you are and you know what you deserve, but you also are somebody who I feel is constantly checking in with yourself. Like, do I have enough? Am I enough? Why isn't this person giving me their time, their energy, or their money? Like, it feels like they're somebody who possibly could be someone who is not really, I would say, familiar with or used to somebody who is as confident as you, or who looks as good as you, or somebody who is in some sort of an economic status like you are, if that makes sense at all. It feels like there's a difference between the Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So there could be an economic difference here. Or it could be that somebody is unsure about whether they want to put time and effort into deepening this connection with you. There's a block to the Ten of Cups. But it feels like you feel as though, we've had some times together. We have made, a few memories together. Or this is somebody who you feel like you've known for a really long time, even though you may only know them for a short time. We have the Two of Swords, Two of Wands, and we have the Temperance card. I'm going to say it's going to happen in time, Taurus. And I know you don't want to hear that, but it feels like this Temperance card is saying that the moment of alchemy is coming, where somebody, they could be a fire sign, possibly. We've got Aries here, and we do have, more fire. So we have 3 cards that are fire here, but they could be a water sign. It feels like somebody here is blocked or stuck. They're stuck in their mind. They can't make a decision about what they really want to do. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, because I feel like they feel like they've known you forever as well. But they're stuck at the crossroads, which is, I'm not sure if I want to take action on this or not. I can't make a decision. I want to feel it out. So Libra is always trying to keep themselves in balance, and the Two of Swords is Libra. And so it feels like somebody here, doesn't mean they are a Libra. They could be a Virgo, or an Aries, or a Taurus, or a Virgo, a Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, a Sagittarius. It just feels like somebody here is trying to keep themselves in balance before they actually take a step away from the crossroads and take some action. And I think they're planning something behind the scenes. They're trying to feel it out, think about it. I'm not sure what I should do. They're waiting for the universe to show up and say, okay, here it is. They're waiting for the universe to give them a sign of some sort, a shift of their energy or yours, or a moment of alchemy where everything is perfect. And now I can say something. Give me one more card here. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, and it's taking its sweet ass time. It feels like somebody is trying to build slowly with you. So someone who wants it to stay stable, who's willing to put in the hard work, but also wants to nurture it. They want to nurture it and they want to go slow. If you are the one who wants to go quickly, which I know you are because you're Taurus, but you could have some fire in the rising, which, makes you a little bit more impulsive. But it feels like somebody here, whether it's you or them, somebody wants to go really slow. And the other person, I feel, is waiting on that person to make a decision. I feel it's you waiting on someone to make a decision because you're sort of standing here confident, all of your crap together here, you're looking good, you've had some sort of glow up phase, you're doing really well, you might be someone who has a business of your own, and you've met somebody who I think is a new connection. It could be somebody that some of you already know, just be aware of that, but it feels like it's a fairly new connection, and maybe you've met them in the last year or so, but they haven't really, you would really like them to say more or do more, but they're not. Could be in the last couple weeks that you met them for some of you. Tell me what is the outcome here? Because I feel like somebody is stuck. That's what I got to tell you. Yeah, the person you're waiting on is stuck. They haven't made a decision about you yet. We've got the 5 of Cups. This does seem like it's a new connection. We've got the Queen of Swords in the reverse. They're scared to say the wrong thing. So it's analysis paralysis is what it is. So this could be a member of the family, like I said, because the 6 of Cups is here. But this could also be a new connection where you feel very connected, like soulmate connected to this person. Could be friendship, but it also could be romance. Regardless of all of that, it feels like with the 5 of Cups and the Queen of Swords in the reverse, that somebody is scared that they'll be too forward, or that they'll say something wrong, or that you'll take it the wrong way, and so they choose to remain silent. This person is somebody who doesn't want to be at a balance. But I see that you think that this is a block to your happiness. That you think the door, like you're waiting, perched by the door, but that you're waiting for somebody here who's been silent to say something, and this person is waiting or withholding because they're scared that they're going to say something that's going to screw it all up. We've got the 10 of Wands, we've got the 6 of Pentacles, and we have the 4 of Pentacles. So somebody here is definitely holding back. I think that there's already been sort of some type of reciprocal energy here. Look, it feels like if it's a friendship, it feels like somebody you met in a group of people, and then this person's like, yeah, we really should get together and go to that thing because I love that thing and so do you. And then they didn't text you and you didn't text them, and everybody's waiting for the other person to text the other person. And it feels like the person, one of you is worried that if I step forward and say something, maybe it'll be too forceful. Maybe it'll break silence and this person isn't wanting me to break silence. So somebody here, I think it could be you, Taurus, is holding back from the situation, even though there's already been a back and forth, but now it's getting old. It feels like with the 10 of Wands, it's getting heavy. Like you're like, maybe I just want to drop this. Like I don't want to wait around forever. Maybe I just want to drop this. I want my happiness. I want my wish fulfillment. It feels like here that you do want victory. You do want happiness here, and you want something that is long-term. There it is. You're waiting because I feel like you are the Empress. You are someone who is not going to chase. And so you're waiting for the sun come out. You're waiting for somebody here to catch their balance, do the right thing. You're waiting for them to have some sort of a breakthrough, so this exciting new path can happen. But I feel like, don't hold your breath. I'm just going to say, it feels like somebody here is really scared, that they're scared if they open their mouths that you're going to be offended, or if they're the ones that come to you that you'll see them as being too forward or busting into your day. We do have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We have Sagittarius, Aries, and Aquarius. We have Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, Virgo, Pisces, Aries, Sagittarius, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And we have Leo, Libra, and Taurus. All right. I think this could lead to somewhere really nice, really good. But I think you two are sort of at odds with each other, waiting for the other person to come forward first. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini, please. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Gemini. This is a new chapter for you. So look, we just had the full moon, right? Full moon in Aquarius happened on Saturday. And I feel like you're ready for the new chapter. You've released some things. You're excited. You're ready to step off the edge here. Tell me about the Fool for Gemini. We've got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. We've got the moon energy here, but you're unsure. Things are not as they seem. Have I built enough of a foundation that I can just walk through the door without worrying if I'm going to fall off the edge? We've got the Ten of Cups. So I feel like you're wondering, will I be happy in the new chapter? Now, when the Fool is here, you're taking a chance. You're taking a leap of faith. And you're not really sure what's going to happen beyond that. You're really not sure because the moon energy is here. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, things aren't as they seem. Have I built enough of a foundation? The Three of Pentacles is in the reverse. Is the foundation shaky? I'm not really sure. Is there happiness on the other side of the moon? Like you're not really sure. Tell me about the Fool. It's like you're being really careful. And I think that you're walking through this door by yourself. I don't think that you're walking through this door to meet anyone on the other side. I feel like you are walking through this door just because it's there. It's a new chapter and you want to know what's going on here. We've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Four of Swords in the reverse. And then we have Justice. So it does feel like you are possibly breaking out of your shell or coming out of a time where you were possibly, for some of you, maybe you've been sick for a while and maybe it's time for you to get up and do something, and you wake up and then the Fool energy is here. It's like the new chapter for you here. So the Four of Swords, it feels like maybe you weren't really connecting with people around you. Maybe you weren't talking to them. It feels like you were laying down or taking care of yourself or healing the self so you could get back in balance. And sometimes we all need that, right? We don't realize we do because we're 24/7 connected to something, whether it's a TV or our phones or people or whatever. But sometimes we just need to settle ourselves, right? The Justice card is here. So the Seven of Swords is here, and I feel like the reason that you're not sure if it's a good idea to step through to this new chapter or not is because of the moon. Things are not as they seem here. You don't trust it. You don't trust that you're just going to fall off the edge and be a fool. But it does feel like you're tippy-toeing toward the edge, ready to take a leap, because you're feeling in balance enough to do that. Tell me what else is going on for Gemini. We have the Queen of Pentacles, so you're trying to get your stability here. You do feel in balance. You feel stable. It feels like you have maybe healed the self. The Queen of Pentacles is the one who is like, tending their own gardens. They can eat their own food. Like it feels like you've been really taking care of yourself. And so it could be maybe you're coming out of a time of not being well. Maybe you were unwell for a bit. We've got the Four of Wands. And we've got the Five of Swords. It seems like for some of you, there is discontent in the home front. And I feel like you probably had to take some time for you, break away, do your own thing, be by yourself. And I think that's why the Four of Swords is here. But now that it's in the reverse tells me that you're ready to talk, or you're ready to say something, you're ready to go another round. Ding, right? Let's go, round two, or whatever it is. But it feels like with the Five of Swords and the Four of Wands that you haven't necessarily been happy about maybe a family situation or a friendship situation. It feels like the Four of Swords being stability and happiness and family. It feels like with the Five of Swords here is giving a little bit of discontent. It might be over money. Maybe there's arguments going on if you're in a relationship, right? That's the top reason why people argue is financial things. I feel like there is, with the Ace of Swords, there's a conversation that needs to happen here. And I think that possibly this conversation, that's what it was. I feel like you're like, okay, we have to talk about this money thing, but I've got to get myself in balance first. I've got to make sure that I know what's going on with the finances. I got to make sure that my health is balanced. I got to make sure that I'm mentally well. Like, it feels like you're balancing your mental health, your physical health, and that's why the justice card is here. But you're about to get some justice, because I think you're opening your mouth to say something about a decision you've made. Because there's one sword with the justice, and there's one sword with the Ace of Swords, and that's a decision. It feels like you've been in a block almost. Do I talk about this, or do I just move on from here? Do I just let it go the way it's been going? I feel like you want to have a conversation. It feels like the foundation is shaky, and you're probably in this Queen of Pentacles energy where you're the money manager, or you're trying to keep things straight or solid, and it feels like the foundation is shaky. And the foundation is also, you know, sort of bleeding into your 10 of Cups. Like, it feels like the moon is, are we really as happy as I thought we were? Because if we can't be honest and truthful with each other about what's coming up next, this new chapter, then really is it worth staying here? Why is the moon here with the 10 of Cups? The Ace of Cups is here, the 2 of Cups is here, and then the 4 of Cups. So we've gotten into a comfort zone. I think that I am talking to someone who is in a committed relationship. It feels like you are, and we've gotten into our comfort zone. Yeah, we love each other. Yeah, we have a bond, for sure. We do feel like soulmates. But the question mark comes, are we stable enough to carry on into the 10 of Cups? So maybe you two aren't living together, not married. Maybe it's time to take it to the next level. But first, we've got to talk about how we're going to bring our financial stuff into balance. And the Ace of Swords tells me it's got to be said. It's got to be said. Do I say something, or do I just let things go on as they are? It feels like somebody here knows that if they say something, the other person could get very defensive about it. That maybe you don't have the same financial plan. Maybe you don't have the same economic status. It feels like you know that if you bring it up here, Geminis, the other person is going to get upset. The other person doesn't like to talk about money, and you are the person who is always going over the details, the finances, the stability, trying to get balance and all of those things. What's the outcome for Gemini? We've got the 5 of Cups, we've got the 6 of Swords, and we've got the King of Swords. So look, I was pointing at the 5 and the 1 is 6, saying like, should I make a go at trying to get stability within this home front or family unit or relationship? Should I do that, or should I just move on? I think that the outcome is telling me this. It's telling me that somebody here is not going to be happy with you bringing up the subject. Whatever the touchy subject is between you. It could be money for some of you. It could be the emotional state of our relationship. Where are we going from here? Are we getting committed to each other? It feels like it could be about the next level. And so somebody here wants to get everything straight and sturdy and stable, because it feels like things have been a little bit unstable in the relationship, and you want to be very sure where it's going before it goes anywhere. So the King of Swords is here. I think you're about to give somebody your pure, total honesty. And you think that if you do that this person might just detach. They just might go. They might think that it's too much chaos, that you're trying to snap them in line or give them rules, right? The King of Swords is very rule-bound. And so I feel like you think that if you say something, that this person is not going to be impressed with you. What's around the corner is the 6 of Pentacles, is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. The 6 of Pentacles is, I have to approach this in a very slow and analytical way. I need to make sure that everything is grounded, and maybe I just need to mention it one day and then back off, and then mention it another day and then back off, make reference to it another day and then back off, so as not to ignite the Queen of Wands. Because the Queen of Wands is like, fine, if you don't want me here, if you're going to try and put all these regulations on me, if you need to have a name on this relationship right now, or you want to know right now if I'm going to marry you, then I'm just out. I can do it on my own. So the Queen of Wands, right? Snappy energy. Next to the Ace of Swords tells me somebody's like going to say something snippy or snappy. I feel like you want the long-term relationship, or you want put a ring on it, or you want to take it to the next level, but you're unsure as to whether you should do that. Because I feel like although there is, we know that we have emotional feelings for each other, we have this emotional bond, but we're getting into sort of this comfort zone where we don't ever talk about our future anymore, where we're just here in the present moment. And I think you want to talk about the future. So I think this reading leaves you with being in the Hanged energy, trying to get perspective and holding back just a little bit, being quiet about it at this time, and Temperance here, trying to find a way to heal the situation without causing someone to jet. The Chariot is here. So the talk is coming this week for you, Gemini. We've got a lot of water here. So we've got Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer energy. We've got Taurus. We've got Virgo energy. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Cancer and Pisces are here. Libra. We've got Aries energy here, as well as more Pisces on the bottom of the deck. All right. Cancer. Let's find out what's going on for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. That last reading I did for you was amazing. I think your tough time might be over here, Cancer. Let's find out what's going on for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What does the Cancer Collective need to know? Next 7 days, Cancer. We've got the Seven of Swords. Why is that? The Three of Wands. Not really trusting the future. Not really trusting what is coming up in the future here. We've got the Two of Pentacles. And we've got the Three of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like you're still in an energy of not really trusting the future. I feel like you are trying to make a decision about what to do with your future energy. It feels like you're waiting for your ships to come in. The Three of Wands is here. You're waiting for something to show up that's worth pursuing. Whether that's a goal, maybe a life goal, it could be a work goal. It feels like you stay very busy, or that you keep your life very busy, or work might be very busy for you. The Two of Pentacles is here. But it also feels like the Three of Swords in the reverse is telling me that you're coming, I feel like you're healing from some sort of disappointment, or you're healing from some sort of broken heart, and it might play into the Seven of Swords as to why you don't really trust the future. That you're trying to stay in balance, you're trying to keep things balanced in your life, but you're juggling a lot of things. And maybe that's okay, because you are not necessarily, like, it feels like something disappointed you that is you're trying to heal from. Could be a third party, could be a broken heart, a disappointment of some sort. I feel like you're working a lot to try and keep your mind at ease. Keep your mind on other things. We've got the Justice card, we've got the Emperor, and we've got the Eight of Cups. So I think that right now your goal, your specific goal, or the thing that you're focused on right now is your Pentacle world. It feels like it's your stability and your security. You are trying to get your life back in balance. And I feel as though that you are detached from everything else, it feels like. So the Two of Pentacles tells me that your life is really busy, that you're balancing a lot of things, or taking care of it all by yourself, or there is a lot of things going on in your life that you're juggling. And I feel as though the Emperor energy with the Justice card here is telling me that you are working toward a goal. So either having your own empire, opening your own business, that would mean opening your own business. But of course the Emperor is stability and security. It feels like, so you could be working toward that right now. The Eight of Cups tells me that, this person is sitting here looking at the moon, right? Wondering, and the moon is Cancer energy, right? It's Cancer's ruled by the moon. I feel like the Eight of Cups here is telling me that you feel detached emotionally, and that you're wondering if you should have let go of whatever it was that you let go of. Could be a person or a job or something. It feels like you are looking to the moon for answers. Is there something out there for me? The Three of Wands is here with the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is the person who is looking into the future because they don't want to settle, right? I don't want to settle for what I've got right now. Yes, I've got my security. Yes, I've got my stability. Yes, I've got my balance. But it feels like somebody here wants to move into the future but isn't sure if there's anything out there for them. And I think it's because of this. I don't think you're totally healed yet from whatever disappointment or heartbreak you suffered in the past. And it feels like the near past. Like it feels like it's probably maybe a week ago, or for some of you 3 weeks ago. What else do we need to know about Cancer? Got the Knight of Cups, got the Empress, and we've got the Two of Swords. Going slow is blocking your progress, blocking your ability to become self-sufficient and abundant. I also feel like there is some romance feelings here. It does feel like you are, when I'm looking at the Eight of Cups, this person is looking at the moon. And in my head, I'm hearing somewhere out there beneath the pale moonlight, it's the song from Aladdin. And it's, the song is about two people who are far apart from each other, no matter how far apart we are, they say in the song. I hope that we're looking underneath, they're both looking at the moon, and so we're looking at the same bright star. It does feel like somebody here is missing another person. But I feel like the way that you cover it up, Cancer, is by working a lot. It feels like there is like a block to the Empress, I want to say. You could be the masculine. If you are, you're the Emperor. If you are the feminine, that's the Empress. And the Empress is not chasing, but I feel like there are still some feelings here for this person. It feels like you can't let go of it. It feels as though you feel that you were lied to, like this person lied to you about something or their feelings, or it feels like something like that. The Empress here, I feel, is blocked you, possibly. We do have the Wheel of Fortune. Something here is about to change. It does feel like you're about to sort of go out there. Feels like you're about, like, looking into the future. Can we bring this back to balance? Can we work on this? The Wheel of Fortune being here with the Nine of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. So it feels like you want to make a bold move towards somebody, but you really are confused about the situation. I feel like you don't know if this person would be happy if you showed up. It feels like the Wheel of Fortune is here and something's about to change. And so I feel like that's why you want to, all of a sudden, why you want to do this. But listen, I mean, Mercury is back going direct, but it is completely slowed down. So that's why we have the shadow phase for the 2 weeks. And so while Mercury is kind of getting back to its old self, I think you are trying to get back to your old self. So it feels like you want something to change. I think the universe is answering you and saying, yes, something has to change. But I feel like possibly the Empress could have you on block if you are the Emperor. It feels like there still are feelings for this person. And you wonder somewhere out there, where dreams come true. Like, are you both looking at the same bright star, right? It's the lyrics to that song. Might be something there if you go listen to it. Somewhere out there. It's called by Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram. All right. Tell me what the outcome is. We have the Strength card. We have the Five of Cups. And we have the Temperance card. So I think that you're trying to find the courage because you don't want to be rejected. I think that you do have a lot of regret about not healing something with this person when you had the chance to do it. And it feels like a bit of regret. So you've got the courage now, but it feels like you're in regret because possibly you're being blocked by the Empress, or something is being blocked by the Empress. It feels like the Empress couldn't make a decision or can't make a decision, but around the Empress is the Two of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So it does feel like possibly there are feelings here that I feel like you had lied to yourself about how you felt, and you were very disconnected, maybe avoidant a little bit. And now you're realizing that possibly you gave up an opportunity for the moment of alchemy. Like maybe the moment of alchemy has passed by. What's around the corner is the Two of Wands, the Artist, and the Five of Swords. So it feels like with the artist is the one that's painting their own life. It's the one who's looking into the future and writing things down and planning things and trying to create the life that they want. The Two of Wands is here. I think that you want to take action to create a life with the Empress. And it feels like with the Five of Swords energy here, that you're not sure, are we too different? Are we too different? Like, is this person going to reject me? Like, maybe we're just too different to get along. Maybe that's it. Maybe we have too many things that are opposing views. We have the Devil energy. And is it still in a toxic situation? Because it does feel like something is either causing fear or doubt, or is this, will it become toxic? If I decide to open the door again to this, will it become toxic? I think that you want to, because you've spent enough time in the Hanged Man energy. The Knight of Wands is here. I think you're going to be brave and sort of approach somebody. And I think this is somebody that possibly there's been broken heart energy with, is what it feels like. It could be somebody who is the Queen of Wands, possibly. Let's look at the signs here. So we do have Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. We have Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius, Libra and Taurus and Capricorn. Aries energy. We've got more Aries energy, Libra, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Leo energy. I think that you want to do this in Leo season, and if that's the truth, you haven't got too much time left, because I think Leo season ends on the 20th-ish, 21st, something like that. Speaking of Leo, tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Happy birthday, friends. Tell me about your birthday. How's it been going? Do you do a birthday week, a birthday month? Mine was a birthday week, and it happened quite by accident. I really don't believe in the birthday week for me, and it just happened that way. So, I'm not a Leo, by the way. I'm a Taurus, so that happened back in April. But, happy birthday to you, and I hope it was lovely if I missed it. Let's find out what's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo. The Eight of Cups here, Leo. Got the Sun. Got the Queen of Swords. And the Hanged Man. You know what? I think that you are now thinking about somebody that you possibly have detached from or walked away from. The Sun is here, that's your energy, but the Queen of Swords is here. Leo, I think somebody was really honest with you about how they felt about you. They just said it. I feel like the lights came on. It feels like there was a breakthrough. Somebody said it, Queen of Swords, but they said it very honestly. Somebody said something to you about how they felt about you, and I think that you weren't ready to hear it. The Hanged Man is here. It put you in a pause. You didn't know what to do with the information they gave you. And so the Hanged Man energy tells me that it put you into some sort of perspective. But honestly, like if you stay here too long, it can be very sort of chaotic, right? It feels like you've been stuck in this pause for a really long time. Something came to light. Somebody was really honest with you. And I think it was about something that was possibly emotional. And it feels like you've been hanging in this tree ever since. You've been in this pause or trying to get perspective. I think that you think about what this person said, and I think that you think about it often. We've got Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. The future energy tells me victory and success, but also after a period that has really been harsh or hard. Tell me about the Eight of Cups, please, because this does feel like you completely detached from the situation. But now I feel like you're having some sort of a breakthrough, and maybe you want to talk, because I feel like now you're really analyzing what this person said to you. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. We've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the King of Wands. And we've got the Devil energy. You didn't trust it. It feels like whatever they said, you didn't trust it. Now, the thing is this, is that the Queen of Swords is truth, is Libra, is somebody who's going to say it regardless of how you feel about it. And I feel like the way you felt about it was you jetted, you went, you ran, you left. The Ten of Cups is here with the Knight of Wands. And it feels like there was possibly somebody was really brave to tell you that you made them happy, that they're happiest when they're with you. It feels like it's an emotional plea, or to tell you, look, I really think that we could make a go of it. I really think that we could have a relationship. But I feel like at that time, maybe you were in your Knight of Wands era, and maybe you just weren't ready for it. You weren't ready to settle down. You weren't ready to do that. I feel like you thought that maybe to settle down right now would mean codependency, or someone who wanted to attach to you and not let you go, with the Devil energy here. It feels as though this person probably told you exactly how they felt, and I think that you weren't ready to hear it. The Ten of Cups is here, though. That's the thing. I feel like now you're realizing it was the Ten of Cups. It was genuine. I feel like you detached because you weren't ready at the time, but now maybe you are. Maybe some time has passed, and now maybe you're going over what this person said. We've got the Five of Cups. Yeah, there's regret here. We've got the Ace of Wands and the Six of Wands. So someone might have you blocked. Someone might have blocked you, or maybe you feel blocked. It feels like you are in regret. That you realize now, as you look back, you could have had success with this had you been ready at the time. But look, you can't be in regret, because we're ready when we're ready, Leo. Like we're ready when we're ready. Like you can't be ready before you are. So the Ace of Wands, I feel, is that you're very attracted to this person, or maybe you two were engaging in passion, because the Knight of Wands is here, and it does feel like somebody mentioned their feelings or said their feelings, and then you were out. But I think that now that we're in the future, we're in this future energy from back there, right? It feels like now you're seeing it for the truth and the honesty that it really was, that somebody here really did only want the best for you. It's like you see it clearly now, because the Sun is here. The Hierophant, that's what it was. The Knight of Wands is here. You were not ready for a commitment. You weren't ready to settle down. You were still in your Knight of Wands stage. It feels like you didn't want a commitment to anybody. And that makes sense. But I feel like now you're in this hanged energy, thinking about what this person said to you, and I feel like there's regret involved. Tell me what the outcome is, please. This person asked you for some sort of slow-moving, stable thing, and I think that you were still in your fire energy. This person gave you a lot of attention. I think they adored you, in fact. Yeah, because the Six of Wands is kind of like adoration. Everybody's cheering you on. I think that this person was a person who cheered you on in life. But I think that this commitment or structured kind of relationship is what freaked you out, because you're in your at the time you're in your Knight of Wands energy. And we've got the Temperance card for the outcome. We've got the Seven of Swords. Oh, but you were lying. I think you really wanted it. I think that you were keeping it under the surface. The Seven of Swords is here. You didn't say it. You didn't say anything. You instead detached, because this is Aquarius energy and this is the Eight of Cups. You detached here. So you didn't say anything about this Ace of Cups here. I think you felt it too, but I think it scared you, because I think it was 10 Cups. I think that this person really adored you. And I feel like you've never felt that kind of love before. Temperance is here. You were waiting to feel differently about it, and it never came, I don't think. It feels like you You were waiting for the right moment to say something, and now too much time has passed. Feels like too much time has passed. It feels like it's 14 months, maybe 15 months. It feels like it's like been a year and a half or longer. It's around the corner. Got the 8 of Swords. Got the 2 of Cups. And we've got the Chariot. Look, these feelings are not slowing down. That's the thing. You can't drop it. It's not slowing down. It's actually picking up force here with the Chariot. It's picking up speed. The two of Cups is here with the Chariot. It's picking up speed. Your feelings have grown exponentially. As you become more and more in balance, I feel like you're realizing that you probably let a good thing go. The 8 of Swords is here. And so you are definitely overthinking, or you're up in your head, or you feel imprisoned in the mind with this. Because you feel like there is no way that you can move forward. The thing is, the Hierophant's here, and you're a fixed sign, and the Hierophant is Taurus, and you're a Leo. But I feel like because the two of them are here, it feels like you're stuck in your ways. It's like, I can't go back on what I said before. So if this person offered you their feelings and you jetted and you said, no thanks, that you feel like you can't go back on what you said before. Got the Strength card. I think you can do it if you find the courage. I think you're really thinking about the future lately. And if you have what it takes in order to be, to get what you want in the future. With the Magician energy, we've got the Moon. I wonder if things are as they seem. Could we start up again? Could we try again? With the Page of Cups, what if I just surprise this person and speak with them at their home? 4 of Wands. Right. Got Leo energy here, of course. There's your Leo energy. Got Cancer, got Taurus, more Leo energy. We've got Aries. We've got Cancer, yeah, Cancer energy. Scorpio, Pisces, Libra energy. We've got Aquarius, Capricorn, Sagittarius energy, more Sag energy, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got the Sun, that is Libra, or sorry, Leo, that's your energy. And then we have the 8 of Cups, Pisces energy. All right, Virgo. Let's find out what's going on for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo. What's going on for Virgo in the next 7 days? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for Virgo. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. You're at the beginning of a new, very grounded, opportunistic cycle. Feels like you're at the beginning of a cycle of opportunity here, Virgo. We've got the Hierophant, the Faith card here. We've got Temperance. And we've got the High Priestess. The Queen of Pentacles is on deck in the future. It feels like this is the right time, I'm going to say. In the next 7 days, you're going to come across a moment of alchemy, or where it feels right to do something that possibly you slept on when it came around before. It feels like with this Ace of Pentacles here that you're at the beginning of a cycle of opportunity, a cycle to grow, a cycle to plant a pentacle and watch it grow. It feels like you want to build like a sturdy, stable sort of life for yourself financially, or in the material world, in the pentacle world. But it feels like you've been waiting for the right time to either build that structure, or start to build structure, or to move ahead on something. It feels like there is a want to keep it traditional. So it feels like you could be building a business, or traditional could mean something your parents taught you. It feels like this Temperance energy here is telling me that this new cycle coming up is going to tell you that it's time. I think it's going to notify you through your intuition that it's time for you to plant that pentacle. Because look, the Queen of Coins is in the future, and it feels like it really does grow to something very large and stable. As long as you keep on the path, as long as you keep on the right path and do the right thing. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles. What is this? We've got the Six of Swords. We've got the Judgment card. And we have the Queen of Cups. So yes, I feel like right now as I throw these cards that you're actually in transition to making some sort of a really big decision. And it feels as though you're supposed to listen to your intuition. If you're an empath, listen to your psychic energy. And that is where you're going to find the answer. It feels like something is about to change. And something is coming back round for you. And I was saying that, I was feeling that. I didn't have any basis by which to say that there was something that you missed before that is coming back round to you. And I think that it is. I feel like there's an opportunity that's coming back round to you here. And it's an opportunity to build some sort of really stable future path. Something, if you decide that you want to move forward, you can do that, because Temperance is here saying it is a moment of alchemy. What other information do we have for Virgo? We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Strength card in the reverse, and we have the Queen of Swords. You must find the courage to speak up. You've got to say something before the opportunity passes again. I feel like you were not in any place mentally to say yes to the opportunity when it showed up before. And I feel like it's because your life was chaotic at the time. At the time it showed up last time, there was too much chaos going on. But now that your life is in a calmer place, I feel like things are much more settled. Now this opportunity is going to show up for you again. For some of you, the Queen of Cups could mean love. It could mean the depth of love. But for me, I'm looking at it as sort of compassionate and loving and kind and a happy sort of emotionally happy time for you. So it feels like it is an emotionally happy time for you, but it could definitely mean that you were in too much of a scattered place mentally to make this decision the last time it came around. So I feel like you need to find the courage to speak up, because the Eight of Cups is here. It feels like with the Eight of Cups for me is always, I don't want to settle. I'm just going to detach from this and keep moving. It's like you don't want to settle for anything less than the Queen of Cups or Queen of Pentacles energy. And that's good, but it feels like if you want it, before it passes you by, you've got to speak up. But I feel with the Strength card in the reverse that you're trying to find the inner strength to speak your truth and to say something really honest and truthful. I think that you're worried that you're not going to be ready, because this is a really big opportunity. Yeah, it's a really big opportunity. And it seems frightening, a little bit frightening. So you're trying to make a decision based on your intuition here. But you've got to speak up. You've got to speak loud. Because I feel like you're going to feel really badly if you allow it to pass by again. Because this is the moment of alchemy. Maybe when it came around last time, it was just to show you what was possible. And I think that right now, this opportunity is back, and you really, really should take a very close look at it. We've got the World card. We've got the Five of Swords, and the Two of Wands is in the reverse, so you don't feel ready. Maybe you don't feel like you've planned enough, or that there isn't enough. I haven't looked at it closely enough. I haven't planned. I feel stuck at the crossroads. And what if I don't agree with the situation? What if I don't agree with the person who wants me to sign the contract, or wants me to, offer a deposit? Or maybe because the Five of Swords is here, it's like you're really confused in the mind. I'm not really sure if I want this. The World here, with the World card being here, though, tells me that you've already closed an old chapter. So maybe you sold the old house and now you're looking for a new house, or you sold the old business and now you're looking for a new business. But it feels like you're caught in this Five of Swords energy, which is this energy of I don't want to make the wrong decision, and I also don't want to fight about it. But it feels like you weren't prepared for this to show up at this time. You don't feel prepared enough for it to show up. Tell me what's around the corner here. We've got the Empress in the reverse, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, and we've got the Four of Swords. So I want to say with the Empress in the reverse, it feels to me like you don't want to make any quick moves, any bold moves. You are the person who likes to move slowly, Virgo. That's your energy, the Knight of Pentacles, that you want a chance to look it over, to sleep on it, And the Empress being in reverse is, I don't want to do, like, I want to do my research first. I want to see, is this a viable option for me? The Empress in the reverse could be a little bit of doubt that maybe this really isn't the abundance that I thought it would be. But I feel like it's because you're scared or worried that you're trying to talk yourself out of it. We have the Emperor. Look at that. The thing is that you're ready. You're ready. You're ready to step into the Emperor shoes here. And I know you're Virgo and the Emperor is Aries, and don't get caught up in the signs, but the Emperor is also all the kings, right? And so I feel like you're ready to step into the Emperor shoes, but I feel like you are caught in analysis paralysis. You're reevaluating the situation, but I think you're slowing down more and more as you reevaluate the situation. Look, let me sleep on it. Look, I'll give you an answer next week, but you're really going to need to speak up or it's going to pass you by. Oh, look at this. Okay. So you've got someone putting a little bit of pressure on you, and that's probably why. So the King of Swords might be the lawyer, might be the realtor, might be the judge or the magistrate, or somebody who says, look, you're running out of time. You need to do it right now. The King of Swords is trying to press you to do it now. This is the data. This is the honest truth. These are the facts and the figures, and you've got all the information you need. Why aren't you speaking up? So it seems like because you're unsure about whether you have the same, maybe somebody's trying to get you to buy into their business. Maybe we don't have, this 5 swords here, 5 swords here, 10 swords. Maybe I should just let it go because I'm not sure if maybe we have fundamental differences. Maybe we don't want to run the corporation in the same way. I feel like you've got to come to this place of stability first before you're going to be able to make any decisions. You're going to have to drop your worries here. The 10 wands is here. And figure out if you want it. But I feel like you're under the gun. Somebody wants your answer now, like within the next 10 days or so. We've got Aries energy. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got Cancer, Pisces, more Pisces energy. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, and Libra, Virgo, and more Pisces. It's all that water energy. It's all the psychic energy. It's like you're not really sure because of all of the emotional energy that's attached to this is what it is. We've got Aries, and then we've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. All right. Let's get to you, Libra. Tell me about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Libra. What's coming up in the next 7 days for Libra? Tell me about Libra. 5 of Swords. It feels like you're having a hard time making some type of decision. You're worried about the fallout if the decision that you make is wrong. Got the Star in the reverse. Oh, it feels like you're almost paralyzed. Is what it feels like. You're paralyzed with this. The Star in the reverse to me is like, I'm not sure this is my wish fulfillment. Also, I feel like maybe there's really no hope that this could work out. Like, I feel like you're sort of back and forth with the 5 of Swords here. We've got the Lovers, and we've got the 7 of Swords. We've got the Ace of Swords here. So I feel like the Ace of Swords is asking you to speak up. Stop spiraling out of control here. Your thoughts are spiraling, is what it feels like. So I think, Libra, that the 7 of Swords is telling me that you're denying yourself or lying to yourself about some sort of feelings that you have. The Lovers is here, and so being presented with the Lovers is a choice. You have a choice as to what you want to do here, but it does feel like an undercurrent of this is too good to be true because the Star is in the reverse. It feels to you this is too good to be true, and that's why you're in the 5 of Swords. All of these intrusive thoughts are telling you everything that could go wrong. So I feel like you're in this energy of the 7 and the 1 is 8. I feel like you're imprisoned in the mind at this time, trying to make a decision. It could be about a soulmate. It could be about somebody who is somebody who I feel that there are romantic feelings for, but you're like, why is this happening so quickly? It does feel like it's quickly, because for me, swords are quick. For me, swords are days. And so it feels like, okay, well, I've only known this person for 2 weeks. Why am I feeling this way already? It feels like you're fighting it, is what you're doing. Yeah, it feels like a couple of weeks, or maybe, yeah, just a couple of weeks that you've known this person. You might have met them in Aquarius season. So maybe sometime between mid-January and mid-February. And maybe you think it's too soon. Like, it's too soon. Why do I have all these underlying feelings here? I think that's what the Five of Swords is saying. It's confusion. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Wands. And we've got the Ten of Cups. So I feel like you're on wobbly legs here, Libra, is what it feels like. I feel like you are waiting for the confidence, for enough confidence to make a bold move. Because I think ultimately this feels really good, but it scares you because it came up on you, like it rushed up on you really quickly and you didn't expect it. So it feels like you're wondering, is this the right person? Is this the wish fulfillment? Because it sure feels like it with the Lovers here, but the Star in the reverse is telling me I don't really know if this is my wish fulfillment, and I feel sort of like I can't make a decision on that because of the Five of Swords and the Star. Is this a healed connection? Is it not? You're losing hope here a little bit that maybe you may not be able to come to an answer for yourself, because you won't act until everything is balanced, right? Until you feel in balance. If there's any indication or inkling that it may not work out, you will not move forward because you got to keep things in balance. Three of Wands, Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. Ten of Swords. You're coming to the ends of cycles here. I think you're on the verge of releasing this place you've been trapped in the mind. The Three of Wands is here, and that is the future. And in the future, I feel like you will stop putting so much pressure on yourself. I think that you need to make sure that you are happy within yourself first, and then you'll be able to make your decision. I'm just looking at these two wands here because there's a third one here. This is the Three of Wands, somebody waiting to catch the wave, somebody waiting for the right time. Like, you can't go out on your board unless there's waves, right? So somebody is waiting for dawn, waiting to catch the wave. This third wand here is about to burn down to the ground, and I feel like you're about to make a decision. Maybe you're planning on saying something, but first you've got to release whatever is weighing you down. Whatever. It feels like happiness is what's weighing you down. I'm just going to say, it feels like this is too good to be true. That's what I was saying here. It feels like it could be too good to be true. We've got the Ten of Swords in the future energy and the Page of Wands. Okay, so I think that you are going to eventually release all of this stuff that's on your mind, and I think that you are going to reach out to somebody here. But it feels like maybe a couple weeks. You're giving yourself a couple weeks. Yeah, because we got two wands that are showing here. We've got 12 days, I would say, so around the 2-week mark. We've got the Ace of Swords came back out, so that gives you 13 days. So it feels like a couple of weeks. Tell me what the outcome is here, please, for Libra. We've got the Five of Pentacles. We've got the King of Cups, and we've got the Nine of Wands. You know, Libra, I feel like the reason that you're not able to make a decision at this time is because of the Five of Pentacles with the King of Cups. Because although I feel like you are emotionally available and emotionally aware, it feels like what you're also aware of is that this could end up in lack, like the last one did. And I think that's what you're worried about because the Nine of Wands is here. So I feel like the Nine of Wands is giving me the feeling for you, but what if this is just another lesson? What if this is just another time. I'm going to have to learn to heal and be resilient. I feel like you're hanging out behind the fear wall emotionally because you still have the thoughts and feelings of something that didn't go right in the past. I feel like you're going to make conversation, or you're going to say something or get some clarity about the situation. So don't panic. Do it in your time. I feel like when you feel confident enough to make a bold move, then make it, but don't make it before then. We have the King of Pentacles around the corner. We have the Ace of Wands, and then we have the Emperor in the reverse. So it feels like things are a little bit out of control. It feels like maybe your thoughts are a little bit out of control, and you want to have all of that stuff in control before you decide to take a step forward. I really think that you've built a life for yourself. Like maybe you've built a life of material wealth. It feels like you're very traveled, you're very smart, intelligent, intellectual. It feels like you are someone who is stable and secure in your life, and now you see passion, and you're trying to keep your stability. Like you want to stay glued to the ground while you are trying to look at this exciting, new, creative, passionate cycle that could open anytime you're ready. So I think that with the Emperor in the reverse, it's making me feel like if you don't feel in control of the situation, you're not going to step forward. And it feels like right now you don't feel in control of your thoughts. You don't feel in control of the situation. Like you don't really know what's going to happen. And so I feel like right now is not the time for you to take a step. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Two people who mirror each other. So I feel like there is somebody here who you're mirroring. They're mirroring you. This is Taurus and Capricorn. And Taurus and Capricorn are a great couple. They grow material wealth. You could have an earth sign placement. You don't have to. But it feels like this is going to be a very stable connection. Very stable. It will move very slow, which I think appeals to you. And I feel like there is real attraction here between these two. But I think that this person is like you. They want things to move slow. They're not really wanting to jump into anything quickly. And I think that they're waiting for you to take control of the situation. So I feel like it's something that you need to come to terms with. Find your courage. Stop holding back. And end this chapter of you where you're holding back and you don't go for the things that you want. The Hanged Man energy tells me you're in a pause, but this also tells me that you're ready to, the Judgment card tells me that you're ready to try again. And so I don't think that, please let me be clear, I don't think this is someone coming back round for you. I think this is someone fairly new, but I think that you are dragging into the current moment whatever happened back there. You don't trust this because you got hurt back there. Someone else hurt you. And I feel like somebody here is about to be reborn. It feels like oh, look at that. We've got an Empress here. And we've got the Emperor. So I think the Empress is waiting on you, friend. Yep, feminine or masculine, whatever it is for you. I feel like this person is waiting for you to come back round to them instead of holding back, to end this chapter of you holding back, because we've got the World card between the two cards of holding back, right? We've got the Four of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. I think you just need to get a perspective and you need to find your courage, is all it is. And I think you will move forward. You will take the bold move, but don't do it until you're ready, because that wouldn't be good. That would be disastrous, right? We've got Aquarius energy. We've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, Aries. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. We've got Gemini energy, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, and Leo energy on the bottom of the deck. All right, Scorpio. Tell me about my psychic network. Tell me about Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio. What's going on with Scorpio in the next 7 days? We've got the Magician. Look, you've got all the tools, Scorpio. All the tools are up your sleeve. All the aces, my friend. Got the 10 of Wands. You just have to release something or drop it because it's weighing heavy on you here. I think that that's what's weighing heavy on you. I think that you do have all the aces up your sleeve. I think that you have all of the skills and the resources you need to move forward. But I feel like this is giving you a shadow of a doubt. It's that you've got a lot on your shoulders right now. And so you don't see that you have all this potential. You don't see that you have all this value because you're feeling weighed down by something. Emotional confusion. Something that could be an illusion. You're trying to make sense of something here. Got the Ace of Wands. I feel like you are feeling... It feels like you're feeling a little bit of pressure. It feels like there's a lot going on in your life right now, Scorpio, I'm going to say. There's a lot going on in your life right now, and I feel like you do have all the tools to deal with all of that, but I feel like it's all very confusing. It feels like it's all very... the Seven of Cups being here tells me that it's scattered. It's all over the place. I'm seeing the Ace of Wands in this reading almost like a torch. It's like I need to light the way in order to be able to get out of this confusion that I'm in. Because you feel very weighed down with something that's weighing on you emotionally. Tell me why the Magician is here. The Magician is throwing a little bit of confusion at everything, though. And I think it's because you can't see your worth or that you have a way out if you need it. We do have the King of Swords. We have Temperance, and we have the Eight of Swords. All right, so this is the hard part, right? The hard part is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is just going to deal with everything head on, right? Face to face, mano a mano. We're just gonna go at it, right? We're just gonna say it. And so the King of Swords is going to be honest and truthful and attack something head on. But the thing about the King of Swords is, King of Swords knows that when they open their mouth, it changes everything. I think that you need to make sure that you wait for a moment of alchemy. You need to wait until you feel, don't move forward and say your truth until you're ready to reap the rewards or the consequences. Do you know what I mean? Until you're ready for it. Because it feels like with the Eight of Swords here that you are stuck in the mind, but I feel like the Temperance is going to show up here. The universe is throwing you a bone here. Temperance is going to show up and it's going to balance everything. But I feel like, truthfully, that it is when Temperance shows up, it feels like that's when you realize that you're the Magician, that you always had all the tools and the resources and the worth, like it was always yours. But it feels like you're a little bit confused or in the dark at this moment because you're feeling very pressured by everything that has, a hook in you right now. It feels like a lot of people have their hooks in you, or the expectations on you are very heavy. We've got the Five of Wands, got the Two of Wands, and we've got the Hermit. So you need a plan. It feels like you're feeling defensive because you need a plan. The Five of Wands is indecision, and the Two of Wands is, I gotta make a plan. I feel like you're stuck at a crossroads of your life. It's like I need to go, but I don't know. I don't have a plan as to how to get to where I'm going to go to. So the Hermit is here. You need to spend some time by yourself. You need a plan. The Hermit is telling me to tell you that you need to think about it, meditate on it, pray on it, whatever it is that you do, but you need to do it alone. You need to be able to have alone time in order to be able to make the plan or figure out what you're going to do. And when you go into Hermit energy, that's what speeds everything up. 5, 6, 7, 8 wands is here. It speeds everything up into the future when you finally look over the details. And the Hermit goes into Hermit energy, right, because of self-preservation. It really feels like you need to spend some time alone and go over yourself. What do I want for me? Find your light. I feel like you've been wandering around, maybe doing the things that other people wanted you to do for them, whatever that is. It feels like you're wandering around. Oh, okay, you want me to do this? Okay, I'll do that. Oh, you want me to do that? Okay, I'll do that. And it feels like you're not doing anything for yourself. So I think the Hermit energy is telling you, in order for you to make a plan, a clear plan about moving forward here, you've got to get into Hermit energy. We've got the King of Cups. There you are, my friend. And you're keeping this all under the surface. You're keeping it all to yourself. It's like, I don't know if you don't have anybody to talk to or you're just not expressing it. But it feels like you're keeping it all underneath the surface and trying not to let anybody see how much it bothers you. Because I really do feel like you're dealing with a lot of fire underneath the surface here. Like it feels like you're a volcano, I'm going to say. This lava is bubbling to the surface. Tell me what the outcome is, please, for Scorpio. Got the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Star. Your hope to be happy soon. You're hoping for happiness. I feel like somebody here needs a job or needs more money, needs help financially, and I feel like you will be, your happiness, your wish fulfillment will show up because we have 2 cards of wish fulfillment here. But also, I feel like you have hope to be happy again because I don't feel like you're happy right now. I feel like you're living in swords. I feel like you're living in very masculine energies, which is not a bad thing, but it can be a little bit stifling when you don't know what to do, you don't know what decision to make. It feels like you're ready to make a hard decision, and I think that you need to be in your masculine energy to make that decision. It's much easier to do when you can stay a little more detached from the situation. I think that you're about to make a decision. You know, we've got the Stoics here, right? We've got detached energy. Because the King of Cups, that's you. That can show up as detached, but the King of Swords is here as well. I've got to say it, and I've got to do it in a detached way. I feel like you're making a really big decision to drop an emotional burden here. You're going to light this torch and burn it to the ground. Tell me what is going on here around the corner for Scorpio. We've got the Eight of Wands, we've got the Knight of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. But if I do it too quickly, I could end up on the outside looking in. I could end up being the one who is in poverty, the one who is disconnected, the one who is... I feel like it needs to be done slowly here. It needs to be a slow pull away, because if you do it too quickly here, if you make a brave move and do it too quickly, it feels like it destabilizes your stability. So be aware of that. If you move too quickly, it's going to move you into destabilization in your life. We've got the Seven of Wands here. Tower is here. I feel like you're going to be destabilized anyway. So it does feel like, I'm going to say, put up your boundaries here, because it feels like a tower is showing up. And the tower is, I'm just going to clarify the tower here. Something's about to shift here. Tell me about this. I feel like there is, you could be the emperor, but I feel like there is an emperor in your midst, and this person is somebody who is about to make a decision that I feel they're making a decision in the future that I think is going to bring you two back together, or make you happier, or make like a celebratory decision. The emperor is like saying the final word. The emperor is the one who is the ruler of the kingdom. So I'm saying that could be you or that could be them. But it does feel like there is somebody here who I feel is going to say to you, look, I see a future with us in this job. I see your future with the company. I do see your future, a future with you in this relationship. But we've got to figure out what we're doing here. We've got to be clear with each other about the past and the present. We've got to be clear with each other about what the Ten of Cups means, because it means something different to everybody. It can be, for someone who's single, it's inner happiness. For someone who is in a relationship, happiness in the family. For someone who's looking at having kids, could be family. And you know what I mean? Like, it's different for everybody. So I feel like you're in limbo, and it feels like something's about to shift. And just as you're ready to walk out the door, I feel like the emperor shows up and says, wait, don't quit the job. Don't leave the house. Don't go there. Let's sit here and talk about it for a moment. I feel like there is a moment of the tower showing up in the future that is going to shift everything into a very different vibe here. We've got a lot of fire, so we're just going to go with Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, more Aries, more Scorpio. We've got Sagittarius, we've got Gemini and Aries, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. All right. All right, Sagittarius. Let's find out what's going on for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter, my fire family. What's going on with Sag in the next 7 days, please? Sneak peek for this week. Sag in the next 7 days. What's coming up this week in the next 7 days for Sagittarius? We have the Three of Swords. Why is that? We've got the Strength card. We've got the King of Swords. And we've got the Magician. Bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles. It feels like you're waiting on someone to make a decision. The King of Swords always usually faces things head on, but I feel like the King of Swords has been holding back from making some sort of final decision. The King of Swords makes the best decision for everyone involved and makes the final decision. It's the final decision maker. I feel like the decision that the King of Swords is holding back on is the Magician energy. And the reason that the King of Swords is holding back, I feel like this person is in think tank right now, like they're thinking about something, because it feels like the King of Swords has possibly been hurt before. Now, I know, Sagittarius, that you are a fire sign, but I feel like this is someone else thinking about you. And I think that this person is holding back their fire. I think they're very sexually attracted to you. Like they see, like there's a lot of desire and physical attraction. And this person is trying to intellectually cut through all of that and saying, come on. Settle yourself. I know this person's handsome. I know this person's beautiful, but we have to make a decision based on what we have up the sleeve, right? And what we're talking about is, the Magician holds all the aces. The thing is that this person feels like it's within their power to make any decision that they want to make, but will it end up to their detriment? Because the Three of Swords is here. The King of Swords wants to make a decision, but is holding back because they have so much passion for you, because they're so attracted to you. They're scared to do it too quickly. For fear that they go the wrong way, that they do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, because the King of Swords is somebody who's very honest, very truthful, and this person doesn't want to say something wrong. Tell me about the Three of Swords. Why is the Three of Swords here, please? The Death card is here. Ooh, the Queen of Swords is here. And the Three of Cups is here. Sagittarius, I think this person sees you as a worthy opponent. And I say that because that's always what Charlie gives me when I see the King and Queen of Swords. It feels like this is not really a romantic connection. It could lead to something like that, but right now it's not. It feels like it's an intellectual connection. We're still in the getting to know you stage. So I feel like there is attraction here, physical attraction, but it feels like this person is way more interested in knowing you intellectually at this time than anything else. So I feel like this person might be part of a social group for you, or you see them when you're at certain types of celebrations. They could be part of your soul tribe. It does feel like this person is hoping that all the conversation we're having, all this getting to know each other stuff is going to change everything. It's going to transform the situation. The thing is down the middle of the reading here, you can see we have 3, 4, 5 swords. So this person is like, what if I get into this because this person's really beautiful or handsome? What if I get into this and then I realize we have these huge glaring differences or fundamental differences, and so this person is trying to do this logically and slowly because they want to make sure you're compatible before they jump in. Now, I think that they think you are intellectually compatible, and I think that this person is waiting in the wings with their next move. I think that's what the Magician is. Tell me what's going on here. We've got the Three of Wands. Yeah, see, they're looking further into the future than you think they are. We've got the Ace of Wands, and we've got the Seven of Cups. And so emotions are hard for this person to deal with because I feel like they are someone who tries to make logic out of everything. They try and stay out of their feelings as much as they can, because this is what happens when they get in their feelings. This is what happens when they don't use their King of Swords energy. They get very overwhelmed by passion. And so I think that they are really physically attracted to you, but this person is not interested in a situationship. They're not interested in starting in passion. To this person, they find it very sexy to get into conversation of the mind. So to them, they're attracted to intellectualism. I think that has to be an equation here. So they have to know you're smart. They have to know that you are someone that can outthink them, or at least keep up. Oh, there we do. There's you, the Queen of Wands. So yes, it does feel like there is hesitation. 3, 4, 5 Wands. Hesitation because I'm overwhelmed emotionally. I want to get things straight intellectually first with the Queen of Wands. And I'm trying to not look at this person being so attractive. So the person who is attracted to you, whether you're the feminine or the masculine, like feels this animal attraction to you. They're very attracted, but they're trying to keep it solid in the mind. Like, I need to figure out if this person is the kind of person who can satisfy me intellectually, because I am not interested in just a situationship. Tell me what is the outcome, please. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Sag, look at this. So I feel like something is shifting here. Yeah, it feels like something is shifting. I think that this person just really wants to sit down and talk with you. Like, maybe you guys always see each other in a group. Like, maybe you always see each other in this group sort of energy. And so maybe they haven't had a chance to talk to you one-on-one. And so it feels like when they do that, everything shifts. They realize you're not only beautiful or handsome, you're not only sexy, they don't only have this animal attraction to you, but that you're also intellectually on point. Like, you can match them in their intellectual behavior as well. So you could be dealing with somebody who is, it feels like the intellectual part is a very big piece of it. So you could be dealing with someone who is an air sign likely. But there is to be a really big shift here. Everything is going to change, and it's going to bring everything to a place of stability. So I think that this person is wanting to see you again, like in these group, because it's safe, right? In these group meetings, I feel like this person wants to keep seeing you in these group meetings, and in one of those group meetings, everything is going to shift. What's around the corner? We've got the Hermit, we've got the Five of Cups in the reverse, and the Page of Swords. So this person is waiting until they're in this energy of no regrets. Fine, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to have any regrets. It feels like they're watching you. So watching you in the group, possibly watching you online. Seven of Cups for me is like looking through a screen or dreaming about you, or looking, it's like a dreamy sort of energy. But the Page of Swords tells me that this person is observing you. And that's what the King of Swords would do. They would observe you. So it's a King of Swords observing the Queen of Swords, or vice versa. And waiting, how you present to them intellectually is what's going to change everything. It's going to transform the whole situation here. Then we have the Fool and the Breakthrough. Look at that. So they're waiting is what they're doing. Yep, they're waiting in their comfort zone, waiting to see if you can match them intellectually, and then that's when the shift comes. I think the shift is coming, but I think that for them, it has to come intellectually. And then that's when the breakthrough shows up here. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. We've got Gemini and Aries. More Aries energy. Something is going to begin, because Aries is the beginning. It's the first sign, and also is the Ace of Wands, right? We've got Scorpio energy. Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, more Scorpio. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius. This is destiny. Everything is changing. This is destined. This is going to happen. The shift is destined already. So it's bound to shift into something more stable, more earthbound, from the air, so from the mind or the thought process, down to the earth, which is stabilizing. So I feel like the breakthrough comes, and I feel like this person is going to say something, but they are taking their time because they want to get to know you intellectually first. Tell me about Capricorn. Tell me about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn. The next 7 days, Capricorn, we start out with the Magician. Well, I just started that out with Sagittarius. We've got the Hermit energy, we've got the Two of Wands, and we've got the Judgment card. Okay, well, the Judgment card, when I put it down, Charlie showed me. Charlie is my my guide, by the way, if you've never been here before. Gives me clairvoyancy. Showed me a snake sort of struggling to get out of its skin. Somebody is shedding their skin. They're dropping expectations, dropping things behind. I think it's you. And I think that you're about to try something again. The Two of Wands is here. It tells me that you're coming up with a plan, or I don't really know what to say. You've been spending a lot of time by yourself or in Hermit energy. The Ace of Swords is here. You are going to say something in the future. Future energy, bottom of the deck for me. But I feel like you're trying to find your magic first. It feels like this, I feel like that's what's happening in the Hermit energy. So you're trying to find your light. You're trying to find an answer. You're going over the self. Do I have enough? Am I enough? Am I on par with the person that I'm interested in? It feels like the Two of Wands is here saying the decision is yours, but make a plan. Because it feels like you are about to shed your skin. This is the new stuff. This is the new stuff. Go dancing. Oh, sledgehammer is what I'm hearing. Sorry. Sometimes words just blend into songs for me. I'm also clairaudient. Won't you? Yeah, listen to Sledgehammer. There might be something there for you. It's, yeah, the song is Sledgehammer. Go look up the lyrics. Anyways, so I feel like you're taking your time. I feel like you're moving slow because it feels as though you feel like you have to have a specific type of magic, or you have to make sure that you're on point with your plan in order to be able to take this chance again. It feels like you're going to open up to someone or reach out to someone and communicate with them. Ten of Wands is in the reverse because you're carrying around something. What's this? The Four of Swords, something you've been thinking on. Oh, okay, the Lovers is here. Making a choice about something here. Tell me about the Magician. Because the Magician is somebody who knows they have the right skills and the right resources and knows they can do whatever they want. They're holding all the aces. It feels like you are trying to make a decision whilst in hermit mode. Do I have a good enough plan to go back around? So it tells me that maybe there is something here that you left behind, or that you decided you didn't want, or you weren't ready for it when it showed up the first time. Mercury is direct today, but we still have a 2-week period where Mercury is sort of gaining ground again, moving a little quicker forward here. We've got the Sun. So yeah, you're going over your worth. Do I have enough? Am I enough? Am I on par? Like, can I impress this person? It feels like the Sun is here and you're really going over the self, the Sun and this Virgo energy here. We have the Page of Wands. You're preparing to reach out to someone here, or someone for the Four of Pentacles is here. So it feels like someone that you haven't spoken with in a while, or you weren't able to be vulnerable with. It feels like somebody here was trying to make you be vulnerable with them, and you weren't being vulnerable enough with them. I feel like there's somebody here who's caught your eye. Like there's a little bit of a spark, and there's kind of a breakthrough here that I feel as though you've been spending a lot of time by yourself, and you've been planning in that time frame, planning to do something, planning to reach out, planning to speak with someone, planning to make a decision. Temperance is here. It feels like a moment of alchemy is about to show up for you here. But the Four of Pentacles tells me that possibly you were closed off to the idea, or you held yourself back. You weren't interested in the opportunity at the time because you had everything that you needed. Like you didn't need an opportunity from anyone else because you already have everything that you need in order to create your own opportunities, because you're in this manifestation energy. So at the time when it showed up, I don't think you thought you needed it. I still don't think you need it, but I feel like you weren't paying attention to it. Two of Cups is here. Ace of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is in the reverse. Interesting. So this person gave you a lot and you didn't give a lot back, is what it looks like. And that might be why the Judgment card is here. So the Ace of Pentacles is here. Now you're ready to invest or ready to give more time, energy, attention to the situation. But the Six of Pentacles is in the reverse. And the thing is I think that you left someone with an idea that you were breadcrumbing them. So maybe you didn't return their texts. Maybe you just stopped talking. This could be business, right? This could be business, or this could be a relationship. But it feels like you didn't jump on it when you probably should have back there, because maybe you didn't need it, or you weren't ready, or you had everything that you needed at the time. But it feels like with the Two of Cups here that we could be talking about a bond. We could be talking about something that could be emotional. And so it feels like you're ready now to start a new cycle in love, or to start a new cycle of emotion. And I feel like the problem is that you want to go back around, but there's somebody here that you breadcrumbed. Somebody here who is giving you a lot of attention and you weren't giving them attention back. The Six of Swords is here. You moved on. You moved on to something else. And so I feel like you're going to backtrack now. But what's going to happen with that? Because I feel like you breadcrumbed somebody here. We've got the Knight of Cups. Yeah, there are emotions here. Four of Swords and Nine of Pentacles. Oh, so this person I think has really changed a lot. Maybe since you've seen them last, they've had a glow up. They look a lot better. Maybe they've, I don't know, lost some weight, changed their hair. It feels like somebody here is really solid, grounded, and confident. And maybe you're not exactly sure if you can keep up with all of that. Or if it might be just, maybe you can keep up with it, but maybe it's going to be a lot of energy to do so. Tell me what the outcome is here. So I think you're trying to decide whether you're ready to put that much work into it or not, because the Six of Pentacles is here. You're going to have to convince somebody that you're ready to put the work in. But I think you've had some sort of a breakthrough or realization here about this person. Maybe we were supposed to cross paths for a reason, and now I'm not talking to them because maybe you had thought you had other options or opportunities when at the same time when you're meeting this person. Tell me what the outcome is. The Ten of Swords. We've got the Devil. Oh, so it wasn't a really great parting of ways, it feels like. It became overly emotional. So the parting of ways was overly emotional. The reason we stopped talking, maybe somebody said, look, you're not giving me a lot of your attention, time, or energy. Like, why would I even keep up with this? And it feels like it was, it turned a little bit emotionally toxic is what it feels like. And so that's why somebody let go of it. So either you did or they did. But it feels like somebody felt betrayed and felt like someone else was a little bit toxic. Maybe you felt that they were hanging on too tight. Maybe you thought that they were codependent. Maybe you didn't realize that they were a person who was confident and independent and doing their own thing. Tell me what is around the corner for Capricorn. We have the Five of Swords. Oh, we have the Emperor. And we have the Eight of Cups. So I think that's somebody disconnected from you. You could be the Emperor, maybe they are, but it does feel kind of like your energy. I am feeling this reading as a masculine reading, by the way. And I don't often say whether it's masculine or feminine, but it does feel like I'm reading from a masculine point of view. So when the Emperor showed up, it sort of confirmed it to me that yes, that it was. So the Five Swords tells me that the Emperor is the one that always stays in control, but now the mind is out of control. I'm not really sure what to think about the situation because now this person is completely and totally disconnected from me. They're not giving me any of their energy, and I don't really know what to do with that. Because the Emperor doesn't go in unless they know they're going to win. The Emperor is never going to tell you all their losses. They're going to come up with a list of things that they won. And the Emperor is not going to go in if they think they're going to lose. We have the Seven of Wands, and so that's making you very defensive. Ace of Cups is here. You think that there is potential for love here, but I feel like you are trying to find the courage, I think, to look at it in a hopeful way. That maybe that this could be something that could come to the Fool, that we could open a new chapter here. The Nine of Swords is here. There is some sort of worry going on under the surface. Ah, there it is, that this person is just going to say no. And I think you're having that feeling because the Judgment card is here. I think there's emotional feelings here, like romantic type feelings, but I think you slept on it. I think that you didn't need it at the time or didn't want it at the time or weren't ready for it at the time. But I feel like you weren't expecting this person to show up looking like this. You weren't expecting them to show up looking confident. I think that you took them for someone who might be very someone who might be very codependent, and I just don't think that they are. You might have misread the situation. We have Cancer, we have Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries. We have Cancer again, Virgo and Pisces. We have more Virgo energy. We've got Leo, more Capricorn energy, and Gemini and Aries energy. All right. Tell me about Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. How did you make it through that full moon, friend? How did it go for you? Let me know. I know you're not the chattiest Cathys in the comments. Kind of playing it all under the surface, you are. Tell me about Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know for the next 7 days? Got the Five of Pentacles. Got the Three of Wands. Got the Five of Wands. And we've got the Chariot. The Fool is in the distance. So look, we just had the full moon in your sign, right? That was the end of the cycle, or the release of the cycle. And now it is time for a new chapter. And so I feel like your new chapter is ready to open here. So I think with the Five of Pentacles that you've been spending a lot of time by yourself. And I feel like it's because you are pulling yourself away. I don't think the people have locked you out. I don't think any of the sinister stuff's going on. I feel like you were just, this person is hiking by themselves. They're in the snow. They have a comfortable place to be, a comfortable place to live. But it just feels like you would rather spend time by yourself. Now, it feels like you feel as though there is a decision to be made in the future. And the future decision is, I think, as to whether to start some sort of new chapter or not. I don't think you're in a place quite yet of making that decision. It feels like here you're looking into the future and wondering what's in the future. I'm not really sure what is going to be arriving, because I feel like right now you're in the Five of Wands. It feels like, got all these people who have picked a place for their wand, and then this guy is just running around the center, still, indecision, right? Trying to figure out what to do with the wand that they've acquired here. Where's the new cycle? Where do I want to start from? Where's the starting point? So with the Chariot being here, it feels to me like you're harboring some sort of feelings under the surface. I'm just going to say that there's emotion under the surface. And maybe they're not feelings. Maybe it's emotion, but I think that you're still fighting the full moon energy. And that you're holding emotions back, or it's like you're in this indecision, or you're fighting yourself, you're fighting your emotions, and you're keeping away from somebody or people or a group of people, or because you know that there is a new chapter coming up, and it feels like it's going to open an emotional door. And I don't think you want anybody to see you in your emotions. You like when people see you in the Four of Cups, when you're comfortable, when you're in your comfort zone, when you're stable in your emotions. You're not necessarily wanting this Cancer energy, right? This is Cancer energy, and Cancer plays it all under the surface, but it is very sweet emotional energy. And so I feel like you need to get in balance before you show anybody that you're moving forward into this new chapter here. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles. Why have you been spending time by yourself here? About the Six of Swords, because you're about to make a move. You're in transition, my friend, is what it looks like. You're in transition to make a move, possibly to put some energy or effort into something that you are about to pursue. It could be a job. We do have Pentacles here. It could be a person, absolutely. But it feels like you're in your King of Wands energy, which is wisdom, which is, I know I can have it if I want it. I just got to get up and go get it. And nothing stops the King of Wands. Nothing stops the King of Wands of getting what they want. The Six of Swords is here. So I feel like first you have to get out of this chaotic mindset and realize that this is a transition that you need to go through. it's about getting your stability and your emotions first before you can move forward into a new chapter. I feel like this is a lesson that the full moon is trying to teach you. It feels like the Six of Swords is something that is chaotic. And I feel like you need to find a calmness within yourself or go to a calmer place in the mind before you can actually begin the pursuit. So I feel like you are spending time alone. Maybe time alone in nature. Maybe time alone. It feels like you are in nature. This person's sort of hiking by themselves. This person's laying in the grass, looking at the sunflowers, right? Feeling the power of nature. So I think you've been spending your time thinking, possibly because the Six of Swords is here, about where to go next or what to do in the future. You're trying to make a decision about how to utilize the Fool energy. But the Eight of Cups. Got the Ten of Swords. You need to stop being so detached, I think, is what it's saying here. And the Hierophant energy. Look, you can be strong and solid and traditional and, you know, have structure in your life without being detached from your emotions. And I feel like the Ten of Swords is telling me you need to bring that shit to an end. It's not serving you, Aquarius. It's not serving you to make it look to everyone like you just don't give a shit. The Ten of Swords is painful. It's painful for you. And I think that's why you detach. That's why you spend time by yourself. Because ultimately you don't want to be by yourself, but that's the conundrum of being detached. That if you can't, you know, if you've got your I'm looking at somebody, no, actually I'm looking at the King's Guard is what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at somebody who's wearing armor. And so armor's great, but you know, it protects you, but nothing can get in, but nothing can get out either. So you can't communicate with people. I feel like you've been feeling lonely, and it's because you've been detached, because some people don't know how to communicate or deal with people who are detached in their emotions, especially if you're dealing with people who are very attached to their emotions, like water signs, right? So I feel like you are trying to let go of or release the detachment phase, and I feel like you've decided to go with maybe Hierophant energy, which is if I stay in my spiritual practice, if I stay on the right path, if I don't veer off the path that I've put out in front of me, if I stay solid, if I stay grounded, it feels like you are moving into this energy of I can build a solid structure within myself without having to be detached from my emotions. And it doesn't mean you got to be a blubberface and cry all the time. It just means that showing emotions is necessary for human contact. We've got the Four of Wands. So you're trying to find the sweet spot is what it is. So you know that you don't want to be the full-on emotional mess and you don't want to be completely detached, but I think that you're trying to find the sweet spot in the middle there with this Four of Wands. You're trying to find the stability between the detachment and the Hierophant energy. Because the Hierophant, I understand, being Taurus, is somebody who also has a poker face, but also someone who's very giving and teaching and who is a spiritual teacher and will show you their emotion through the spiritual teachings. But the Four of Wands is like you're trying to find a sweet spot. I don't really know where that is. Where's the sweet spot? I think what you first have to do is try and get your feelings in order. Try and get your emotions from under the surface to allow them to surface once in a while without getting too emotional. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Hermit energy, we've got the Seven of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. I think right now you're hermiting because you don't trust love, you don't trust emotion. It feels like you're trying to find a strategic way to get through your emotions without having to feel them. It does feel like there is somebody who I feel lied to you or deceived you in a romantic sense. And so I feel like this is why you're recalibrating, I would say, around this full moon in Aquarius. I feel like you are trying to rethink outdated norms. I think that you're trying to figure out what rules you made in your head that you no longer want to obey. It feels like you're trying to hold space for your emotions, and you're spending time alone to do that. And that's why we're getting these cards of you being by yourself, right? So it feels like you are trying to connect to yourself emotionally through your spirituality, through your spiritual practice. I think this comes on the heels of having your heart hurt. Tell me what's around the corner for Aquarius. We have the Knight of Swords, we have the Ten of Cups, and we have the Six of Wands. Look, it's going to work out for you in the end. I feel like you are feeling brave enough to dive in to the Ten of Cups. I think you do want to be emotionally happy, but that means that you're going to have to show it to other people once in a while. The Six of Wands, the person is on their high horse. They are somebody who can be seen for miles and miles, right? Everybody pays attention to them, and it's like they're wearing a spotlight on their head with the Six of Wands. And I feel like what you don't want to do is let everybody see all of your emotions at the surface. But I think that you're ready to try and be brave and intellectualize your happiness. That's what it feels like here. The Knight of Swords is not the King of Swords. The Knight of Swords is Gemini, which is a little more flexible in the mind than the King of Swords, who is Aquarius. So I feel like you are trying to be a little bit more flexible in your emotional state, and I think you've decided you're going to let people see that moment of temperance. It's healing. It's the moment of alchemy. Don't push yourself into it. I feel like it's coming. This is a major arcana card, and it's finding the balance between the darkness and the light, or the fire and the water. So I feel like you will come into balance, but just don't push yourself into it. You are going to have a breakthrough. There you go. And it's going to feel good. It's going to feel like stability of the mind. But it's time for you to face the thing that terrifies you the most, and that is change. Change and starting to feel things, and this is moving forward. This is all fixed energies, but it's also Sagittarius energy because it is Jupiter energy. And I feel like moving forward into the future, into your abundance, that everything must change. You can't stay stuck here. In order to be happy, Nine of Cups, you've got to make a change, and that is to face whatever your fears are and find the courage to do that. But I feel like you are going to have some sort of a breakthrough, Aquarius, and I feel like you're doing a lot of good work. I mean, that's hard work, man. I'm a Taurus, and that was hard work for me. It's double hard, triple or quadruple hard for Aquarius. All right, so we've got Sagittarius, we've got Leo, Pisces energy, Gemini. We've got Taurus. We've got more Pisces energy, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Gemini energy, Cancer energy. And we've got Virgo and Leo on the bottom of the deck. More Leo. Yeah, more fixed signs, and Sagittarius and Pisces there. All right. Let's talk about you, Pisces. Let's get her done. My water family, let's find out what's going on for Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, my two fishes friends. Let's find out what's going on for you. What is coming up for Pisces in the next 7 days, please? We have the Three of Pentacles. Tell me why the Three of Pentacles is here. Feels like you're going to be getting together with a group of people or a community or a network of people here, and it feels like they are creative. I'm going to say maybe they're painters or people who draw things. Maybe they're writers or musicians. It feels like the Three of Pentacles is telling me that you're going to be watching people in their creative ways here. They're going to be teaching you how to be creative. I've got the Nine of Cups. We've got the King of Wands. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. So I feel like there is, in the next 7 days, that you will be spending some time with people who I feel are within your passionate alignment, is what it feels like. You are trying to break out of your mold, or trying to break out of the box. It feels like with the King of Wands has their, right? And they're ready to take a step. It almost feels like you're ready to get up off the throne here. And it's time to stop holding back and get myself into alignment. I feel like you're going to be meeting with people who are going to reveal things to you that are going to make you very happy. Oh, the Two of Cups is here as well. So you'll be bonding with these people. You also could be finding a romantic interest, but it feels like you're going to be bonding emotionally with these people. What they're going to reveal to you is happiness. So it feels like you're going to be learning about creative passions, is what it feels like with the King of Wands here and the Three of Pentacles, that you're building some sort of a foundation. You're going to be in a group of people where they're going to teach you by example. They're going to teach you how to work, how to do the thing. Maybe you're going to a conference. It could be that. Maybe it's a work conference. Pentacles are here. But it feels like it's going to bring you outside your box. It's going to make you more vulnerable. And if any of you are creatives, you know what I'm saying is that you have to be vulnerable in order to be creative. There's no way that you can get the creative thing accomplished if you are not vulnerable. So I feel like you're going to be walking into a creatively vulnerable group of people who are very much aligned with the same type of happiness that you are, whatever that means. The Ten of Cups is here again. We've got the Empress in reverse. And we've got the Six of Swords. So it tells me you're a little bit unsure about it. Maybe you're a little bit nervous. It does feel like it's a lot of chaotic thoughts in your head with the Empress in reverse. It almost feels like you're like, but maybe you're a person who's not creative, or you feel like you don't want to be that vulnerable. The Empress in the reverse is telling me, I'm really not sure. I'm not sure if I'll fit in. I'm not sure if I have enough abundance. Do I look like they look? Am I eclectic enough? Am I creative enough? Like, I feel like you're checking in on yourself with the Empress in reverse. I'm not really sure if this is the place that I want to be. I want to be happy, but I'm kind of nervous about moving forward here, moving into this group. I feel like you're in a transition in your life. I feel like this Empress reversed energy is like allowing you to be a little more flexible in the way that you see the world. The Empress in the upright is somebody who's very stable and secure and is obeying rules and has wisdom and all of that. But I feel like you are learning how to be a little more flexible right now. And I think that's why the Empress could be in reverse with the Six of Swords. It feels like that you need to sort of detach from being the Empress who's taking care of everyone, doing everything, always doing the things, and whether you're feminine or masculine, right? Because that's feminine and masculine energy. So it feels like you're the person who needs to learn to sit back and learn and watch and watch people create, watch people being happy in their passions. And I feel like you're usually the person who is, putting on the dinner or putting on whatever it is. I feel like you're going to a place where your presence is, they're happy to have you there, but you don't have to be the center of attention. Maybe that's why the Empress is in the reverse. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. Something here is about to change. It's going to change your mind or bring you out of a place where you were stuck in the mind. It feels like, the Magician is creative energy. It's the ability to create the future. It's the ability to create with whatever tools you have. It's having the resources and the skills. It feels like you are, with the Eight of Swords, that maybe you were stuck in the mind, and it feels like everything's about to change. With the Wheel of Fortune being here, this is like a new cycle. It's like a brand new cycle of creative, learning how to harness your creative powers is what it feels like. The Magician energy here. I want to say that there's an invitation. Like, it feels like there's an invitation to somewhere. So it could be that your work is sending you to some sort of creative group think tank or something. It could be that, because we do have Pentacles here. It could be just a creative group of people, but it does feel like it's a passion of yours. Maybe you don't have the skills to do what it is that is the passion, because maybe that's why the Empress is in the reverse. Maybe you don't have the skills, but you're willing to learn. And if you are willing to learn, that's what the Three of Pentacles would be about. The Six of Cups is here. So it feels like this is something that I feel like you're going to realize is quite innate for you. It's something that you grew up with, or something that you've known from a last life. A lot of people who are painters didn't know that they could paint until they just put down the canvas and started painting. They didn't realize how creative that they were. And so I feel like this is something that's going to come quite naturally to you. Tell me what the outcome is. It feels like a new group of people, or you're being sent to a seminar, or you're going to join a group of people, and it's going to change everything for you. It's going to get you out of your head and get you into your creative energy, where you're about to pursue your alignment or your happiness or your wish fulfillment. And I feel like you've been feeling kind of stuck, Pisces, like feeling stuck or not feeling very vulnerable. And the creativity teaches you how to be vulnerable. You can't be a musician. You can't sing if you don't have vulnerability. And so it feels like that you're going to be learning how to harness your vulnerability here. Tell me what the outcome is, please. It's going to make you very happy with the 10 of Cups. We've got the Strength card. We've got the Queen of Cups and the Fool. I like it. Good. So I think this is something that you're really going to love. You know what it is you're vibrational, and whatever you're doing is vibrational, is what it is. The Queen of Cups being here is your energy, right? Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. So I feel like if it is music or singing or music, like you're learning how to play an instrument, or it feels like it's vibrational because everything vibrates through the water. And so it feels like with the Strength card here that you've been holding back from this because maybe you didn't think you could be perfect at it. You thought that maybe you'd look foolish trying it. But I feel like here you've decided this is an exciting opportunity to be in a group of people who also don't care if they fail, who also are just out here with their magician energy, just waving their wand all over the place, right? And just trying to be happy and excited about these beautiful skills that have been given to them by the universe. So it feels like you will be taking a leap of faith. I think that you will be meeting a new group of people, and they're going to teach you how to be far more flexible than you've been. And just because you're a Pisces doesn't mean you're flexible. Look, maybe you're a Pisces and you have Aquarius and Taurus energy. Like maybe you're someone who has more fixed energy than cardinal or mutable energy. Maybe it's that, but so it feels like you need to learn how to be a little more flexible through creativity, and through that I think you're meeting a new group of people. Around the corner we've got the Ace of Wands, then we have the 8 of Wands, and we have the Page of Cups. This is something brand new. This is good news. You're moving forward into something that is going to make you emotionally happy. We've got the Ace of Wands in the reverse. I don't think that you're realizing how quickly you are going to actually find your passion. It feels like you're going because a friend invited you. Let's go to a paint night. Look, they have paint and wine night. Let's go drink a glass of wine. And I don't think you realize how talented you are until you actually get there and find your stability through whatever it is that you're going to be learning. And so the thing is that I think that the creative part of it is a part of it, but I think that the people that you meet and connect to is what's going to make a really big difference in your life. It's going to make you realize that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to not be right on point as the Empress all the time, because the Empress carries a lot of stuff. The Empress is always trying to be perfect, right? She's the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. So we've got Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Libra, and Taurus. We've got Aries here. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, and Leo. We've got Gemini and Aries, more Scorpio energy. And Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius. I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you, and I'll be back because I'm always back. You guys take care of yourselves. I'm out for now. Take care. Bye-bye.